Hello and welcome to Live from the Catio, episode number 1. This is the edited down version of my twitch.tv live Beehive inspections. This video went about as well as the first episode can, so bear with me as I learn how to do this. With that out of the way, let's get into this Beehive.
Yeah, still pretty warm, but we're getting there. I'm gonna give it another couple. Let's take it out. Give it another couple minutes here to get warmed up. I believe we're going to be having some guests in just a bit watching us. We'll see. Yeah, this is still pretty hot. Well, let me let that smoke out again. Again, I'm going to set it kind of by them, because if I do that, hopefully there's a little bit of a drifting smoke. I don't want that much on them.
Unfortunately, this camera angle is quite common in this video. I get better in the second episode, so please bear with me as I learn how to do this again. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bit of a drifting smoke lets them know that we're going to be moving. And I'm going to move this guy in some shade because this thing is hot today. All right. We're all done with the applewood. The applewood smoked bees actually do smell pretty good if you're curious. There's a distinct, when you open a hive, there's kind of an interesting smell. I don't want to say you can necessarily smell the bees. Maybe that's what it is, but it's just an interesting smell nonetheless. So, all right. Alrighty. Let's see what we're doing here. I don't know, it's still a little hot. Hello. How are you? I don't know if you can see that. Maddie just came out. Can you make sure my stream audio is working? Yeah. Thank you. I could have just been talking to well, there's also still a possibility that I am talking to nobody, but we are still a little hot. I don't want to anger the girls. I just really want to... At this distance, though, yeah. Too close, it's still warm, but that's not too bad. Let me get cracked open and then... Actually, I'll start looking at these frames. I'm not...
Yes, your audio is working.
Okay, good.
I'm going to stay inside because the smoke's bothering me.
No worries. Yep. Alrighty. This frame looks full of what I cannot tell yet, but we are about to find out together. Oh, there's definitely some honey on it. I see some was broken when I picked this up. Okay, we still got brood above here, so that's good. That means still hatching out. You can see that there's more. Let me see if I can't show you a little better. You can see normally on a brood frame they put honey around the edge, and you can see that with those cap cells over there. That's the honey that was broken that I was talking about, that I saw kind of ooze. They've slowly on the top started moving that in, which is a good sign because all of these this is above the queen excluder, which means that new eggs should not in theory be laid. Oh, there's definitely more. There's definitely more. So this is a guest star. This is a golden looking frame. This frame is great. This would be great in the bottom, but I'm happy that it's up here. So yeah. So this is a huge thing of honey that's becoming capped.
Sick.
Bunch of baby bees in the middle. This is, I was telling the people on the stream, this is above that queen excluder, that yellow thing that I put on when you were here. So all of the bees that are going to hatch from that frame will backfill all that stuff with honey.
Right, no mistake, right?
Oh yeah. This I'm probably going to use this a tiny bit, but it's just hot enough where I really wanted to get some smoke on them. I'll move it a little bit away. I don't really need it. So, but oh yeah, they're filling these frames up, which is good. They're starting to draw a little bit out. They drew a tiny bit there, and they're starting to fill it with honey.
A little bit on
Yeah, it's well, and that's okay. When these things blow up, because there's a little bit on here, because there's this little bit on here, and I'm actually going to crush this because it's unproductive for them.
He just hit me in the back.
What did?
He just hit me in the back.
A bee did? Yeah. When hopefully what happens is with this little bit of drawn out that happened from bees being around here and hatching, when there's a big honey flow and all this nectar's coming in, they're going to explode this frame out and fill it with honey. That's one of the goals, right? And I'm going to move some honey on my glove. So, and these frames are most of these frames are going to be empty. Oh. Got 2 empty frames that are stuck together with propolis. I'm not even going to take them apart just because I don't need to. Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
There's a frame sitting right there. Could you hand that to me?
Yeah, I'm locked in.
It's just a little slider. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize. I only put 7 frames in there last time, so I actually need to put a new frame in here. And this frame I want to be in the middle. I'm not real worried about where the queen's at right now because the queen excluder is on. So I can just put this here and not worry about really looking for the queen.
How's the queen excluder?
Yeah.
She doesn't seem very bigger.
No, so bees are pretty specifically sized, which I know sounds crazy, but the holes in this little plastic thing that I'll get out in a second are literally just big enough for regular bees to fit in, but not big enough for the queen to fit through, right? So we got a couple
What if you
bees.
have, like a couple of normally large bees?
Drones that are bigger won't be able to fit through it.
Oh,
That's the thing. Yeah, if the drone gets too big. Well, I don't really care though, because drone bees are losers, so they're not. They serve a purpose, but well, here's the thing. Dude bees, they just take up resources in space, and they take up heat. They protect the hive to a small extent, but realistically, your drone bee's not doing much. He's eating all your resources. This frame, this frame is all honey. This frame right here, Bill,
Yeah, it's huge.
it's fucking heavy. That's what it is. Oh my gosh, yes. So this frame,
They're very heavy. Yeah, he had his roll last time.
this one is.
Come hold it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you want to come hold it? No.
No, come on.
Hey, can you move my phone camera up just a little bit?
Hold it.
Yep.
Like,
No, you don't have to. Yep, just tilt it. It
okay,
should stay.
How about that?
Yep, perfect. So this one,
You're,
the whole,
You're safe out here.
yeah.
As long as you don't
I'm
like.
not. Okay.
Bees will cap honey once it's gotten dried enough. So see how this is all white up here, Bill? That's what that is they flap their wings on the honey slowly to dehydrate it. It's wet enough that it'll ferment and go bad, right? The bees can still use it to an extent, but we don't like that, right? Because then it goes bad and it's sour and it's not too great.
The white film there, that
Yeah, so the white, all the white stuff is capped honey. All that stuff right there and all on the other side, that's all honey now. The rest of it is still nectar and it's getting close to bee honey. To being honey, yeah, sorry. Yeah, if I had to estimate, Bill, this frame with this many bees and this much honey on it, oh man, this frame is probably, I don't know, that felt like at least 12, 15 pounds.
really?
Yeah.
They're not doubles.
Come on. Yeah, the thing is heavy. It's just those really deep frames. That's why we have the medium boxes over here. Once they actually start working on this stuff, you gotta imagine, this is, you know, not half the size, but almost half it. So each one of these is gonna be a lot lighter. I don't know if it's quite, that might have been exaggerating, being 15 pounds, but
I wouldn't say that's exaggerating.
but it's gonna be a lot less. Because I think if one of these, so when this thing is full of honey, when that gets full of honey, once all the bees are done with it, I believe they say that this will weigh, is it 90 pounds? And then I think 60 pounds is the small one. I think, I don't quite remember, but I believe that's what it is. So here's a better shot of the queen excluder. So this, like I said, these bees, I want to watch one go through it. I'm hoping that you'll see it.
Those bees can fit through those little holes.
They can, yes. Regular bees will be able to fit through this, but the queen's abdomen is too big to get through here. I believe that's how it works.
What if she gets stuck?
Yeah.
So that's a divider between more
All,
racks.
yeah, everything below here, everything below this is all brood, which is what I'm saving space for them to just breed, reproduce, and make new bees. Above it is what I want them to turn into honey. So.
Oh, there's a guy underneath there. See him? Like in between, on the top in the middle. Like there's one under the plastic. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right here?
Yep.
Yep. Yep. So I was hoping I'd see one. I think this is a dead bee, unfortunately. Yeah, lady. Sorry, lady. I'll put you with all your other friends.
I don't know if they're a girl or a boy.
They're all girls. I mean, the drones are the boys, but all of the useful, productive bees are girls, which is what you see here.
All the ones that are out here
Yeah.
that are being annoying.
Some of the big annoying ones, the ones that buzz you most of the time are drones.
The boys.
Yep. Big
The
bullies.
ones that keep bumping in.
Yep. All the rest of these, most of these are going to be nurse bees, which are just here to, you know, feed the queen, feed the baby bees, help everything out. So I can probably take a VOD shot of that and make a TikTok. Okay. This, well, I don't really want, because some of these won't really want to fly. That's why when I did the mite wash with the bees, I took worker bees that were down here, because they don't really like flying. You can smack them into a container, and then you can harvest those bees so that you can check for mites. A lot easier than taking bees that can fly. Like a lot of those are probably just going to go down and work on the stuff down there now. They'll be a little discombobulated, but there we go.
So loud.
I
What?
can hear it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I never would have guessed is when working on bees, it is just loud.
I'm up here, but when I grew up on
This is a good candidate for the queen, a frame for the queen to be on, because here, you see all of these. Well, no, because there's a crud ton of honey. Hold on, this is all honey. I actually want to move this to the top.
Look at all that honey.
Yeah, that's actually not. So if you guys can see on stream,
Yeah, it's shiny.
yeah, it's all shiny. It's all. This is all honey. So the queen.
Why aren't they capped off like the other ones?
They see at the top it is.
Oh, okay.
They have to fill it enough and then they dry it, right? So you only get capped honey when it's full enough and it's dry. So I'm just gonna put in here on top here. Where are the doubles? Oh, that's the doubles. I will probably move that frame up because it already has a bunch of comb on it, but it's being filled with honey. And actually, now is a good time to do that so I remember. I would rather, down in this bottom chamber, there be a bunch of brood, and up in the top there be a bunch of honey, so they can better draw this frame out below. But this frame that's full of honey will stay up here. So when I go to harvest or do anything, and yeah, it's just what I'm feeling today. This one is not too bad. This frame right now is probably only 2-3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds. The one I showed earlier, I think you might have stepped inside, but this frame, I'll pull it out again. There's a frame in here that's probably, if I had to guess, like almost 15 pounds. Maybe not quite that much, but yeah, it's all honey.
You want me to take it?
Nope, got it.
Oh my god.
Wow, look at that thing. Oh, there's like a big old bump of bees on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's festooning. I don't know if you guys
Like
can see that.
a magnet.
Yeah.
They're coming loose.
Okay, let's try not. Okay, I need to adjust my camera again, guys. Sorry for you on stream watching. No, I got it. I should have sat down. Okay. This is rotating too much, so I just need to.
Worry about losing the bees. Them getting away. But
Yeah.
No,
they'll come back.
they come back. Yep. Yep.
Where else are they gonna go?
I don't. Right?
This frame is interesting. So if you see this, there's a lot of bees on here. There's not a lot of comb on here. It could be because it's hot and they're like, huh, we're trying to spread out and not be by each other. That is a very real possibility. So, yeah, I'm also checking what I'm doing when I'm pulling all these frames out and looking, even like right now. I'm not expecting the queen to be on this frame, so I'm not really looking for her here. But I'm looking for like anything that seems abnormal. There's a thing called K-wing, which is when a bee's wing is split into like one side or sometimes both sides will be split, and they'll have two wings on each side, and one's kind of jutted out. It almost looks a little necrotic because that's kind of what it is, right? What's that?
Inside or outside?
Flying around.
A whack.
When you open it up, yeah, when you first, let's see how warm this smoke is now. Oh, this is pretty good temperature. When you first open up the hive, or when the hive is normally closed, you're gonna see a lot of, you'll see like 10, 15 bees at the front of it, right? But that's about it. You see, you know, I think this morning maybe there was 30 bees you could see right here. When you open it up and all the air and all the sun immediately comes right down into them, they're like, oh, and they're discombobulated, and then they're gonna go fly around and figure out what's going on. So as soon as this thing is tied back up, you'll see most of the bees will go right back in, because they don't really care. They don't really want me here, but they don't really care that I'm here, so it's not like they're angry. I'm gonna scrape this off of a little container here, because they're building stuff. I don't really like when they build on the sides of frames. It sticks frames together too much, and it makes it a little annoying. They're not always super happy when you do that, but yeah. I give them all this space, and I feed them, and oops. Right now, nothing, because they don't need it.
They have lots of flowers.
There's lots of flowers and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's making
Yeah, that made them a little bit. Well, I scraped them down, so they weren't happy about it. Yeah, one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen.
Years to make. If you just scraped off.
Yeah. One of the most terrifying things, and there's only a couple bees, so I'll show you with this frame. Something that you sometimes do as a beekeeper to get things off. So now the bees are in there, right? And the ones that can fly are going to fly around, and they're going to be a little angry and figure out what's going back on, but most of the time they're just going to stay there. So, let me see. This frame they're starting to slowly build out on. This, I was hoping, what I did is I actually took half of the, like, not half, but 2 or 3 of the nice frames from here that had a bunch of stuff on them, and put them there above it, so they would build out stuff faster. But what that's meant is there's a lot of space in the bottom that is no longer filled out, and it's taken them a while to get it filled out. And I think part of that is probably because it's been really hot, and then it's been really rainy and gross, and then really hot, and then really rainy and gross, right? So overall, it's not the best time to be a bee. Not that it's a bad time to be a bee, but if they could just have like moderate heat days, they're just nice and not super windy, not super anything like that. That's not always how it goes, though. Yeah. Well, you'll see the next one I'm about to do. Oh, there's the queen, right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep, she's got a red dot on her head. You see him? See her? Right in the middle there, see her? Big and orange.
She's really good at this. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. She's big. She's orange. She got a big abdomen.
She's right in the middle, too.
Yeah.
You say she's a whore?
She's big and orange with a big abdomen.
She's big. She's a whore.
No, she actually only mates once in her life. I believe she only mates once in her life. I don't know now, because you have the initial mating flight. I don't know if they keep mating her. I think it's a one and done thing. I don't know. I'll have to look that up now. Lots of fresh eggs on this frame, which is good. Not much on the other side. Because the queen's in here, I just want to leave her here. This frame is about to be heavy and full of bees. So this is a really good example of a frame that is thriving, I assume.
Oh, look at that.
So, see all this dark capped stuff in the middle? That's all bees that are about to hatch.
Baby bees.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Did we post the TikTok of the bee hatching?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
No, we did bee bridge and then...
Yeah, bee escape.
Yeah, and then bee escape, yeah.
Because I talked you about doing bee birth.
Yeah, bee birth. That's right.
Beaver.
Yeah. Bee birth. Not bee birth.
That's Mike Tyson's favorite boy band.
Uh-oh.
Beaver.
See all this, like, really crazy big stuff at the bottom right of that frame? That is drone brood. So that's a bunch of dude bees that are going to be birthed. Everything else, all the normal, all the good-looking stuff, that's all the regular worker bees, nurse bees and stuff. But that big stuff that takes up extra space, that's going to be drone bees. And I kind of want to look. There's a queen cup. Sorry, I always want to say queen cup. There's a queen cup on the bottom here that I want to look in and make sure we're doing good. Nothing in there. Good. You got to look. See that weird protrusion in the bottom? You got to look and make sure that with those, let me see if I can't get it on camera. Yep. You don't see anything in them, that you don't see any royal jelly, you don't see an egg or anything. What that means, if you do see those, is that they're trying to leave. That they're not happy with how much space they have, the conditions aren't right, and they're like, hey, heck no, we're getting out of here. And they'll produce new queens, and then your current queen will take half of the bees and leave. That's called a swarm. And my neighbors probably wouldn't be too happy with me if I let that happen as a beekeeper, because there's going to be a whole bunch of bees nesting somewhere that they aren't controlled and aren't supposed to, right? So
They have an area that they
no
word, but
prefer.
no, like where they don't allow other bees to
What do you mean?
be. Queens have to be a certain distance apart. You have
Like
two
a-
queens
like
and
No,
a
you
territory?
I could put 4. It's pretty common. I could put 4 of these hives butted up next to each other, and you do it in like a star shape. So you dink, 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 dink. So the entrance is facing a different direction. All of them would be right there. You'll have what's called drift, where some bees will go to the other hive and other bees will go to this hive. But they don't really care, and that'll for the most part evens out.
you can have a queen in each one.
This is episode 1, my friends. My phone ended up overheating and shut off due to the high temps and direct sun. I ended up losing the rest of the footage, unfortunately. Episode 2 is better, though we did still face some technical difficulties there. Make sure to tune in for the next one, as I made a crucial mistake this time around, after the camera died, of course, that caused some bee drama for me in the next episode. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. This was live from the Catio. Thanks for watching.